So, in regards to the ICE raids in particular, um, there's not an issue in regards to rounding folks up. However, the main or the chiefly issue is the due process aspect.
Hold on, give me a second. Do you want to be on the stream or do you just want to do the audio?
No, no, I'm about to go out here and cut my grass. It look a little rough, brother.
Okay, no, that's cool. We can roll with audio. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, did you hear what I said?
I'm sorry, I missed it. Can you repeat what you said?
Okay, so as far as the roundup is concerned, in regards to violent criminals, no disagreement. However, once like the constitutional states, once you arrive in American soil, to be removed from American soil, then you deserve due process. That's the issue. That's the chiefly issue in inciting all these protests.
So you saying that the Constitution says, and I'm not familiar with this, and I can Google it really quickly. You're saying that the Constitution says that if you arrive on American soil, then there's due process for you to be removed from American soil. So I'm gonna take your word for that, for the sake of conversation.
So you're seeking asylum. So it basically it's an amendment. So you're seeking
asylum.
That
doesn't mean you were seeking asylum because you arrived on American soil.
Well, in essence, that's what you're doing.
No,
when you arrive in American soil.
That's not true.
Yes, sir.
You are not by default seeking asylum just because you arrive on American soil. People can arrive on American soil for a bevy of different reasons. That's not now.
A myriad of reasons. Yes.
Wait. You're inserting your opinion into it now. Now we start to get into where we differ, right? Because we assume, for the sake of conversation, that you're right. Okay, so you have due process, and that's where I want to explore, right? But you can't automatically say that somebody is seeking asylum just because they arrived on American soil.
Okay, so yes, now you're painting with a broader brush. No, of course, it's a myriad of reasons why someone would come to the United States from another country. Yes, you're right.
And however, even if you seek asylum, you still have to go through the process. There's a process for asylum seekers to be here in the United States of America. You can't just come in.
You're right. So it's numerous documentation that you have to fill out. Yes, everybody understand that. However, this is the chiefly issue with these folks with ICE.
Hold on. Before we get there. So, what is the due process for removing somebody from American soil?
So it's predicated on how did you come in?
Oh, okay. So it's not a blanket thing.
It's not. No. There's no. Okay. You can't paint anything with a broad brush.
Okay, so I'm just going based off of your conversation. All right, so we got due process, and let's say somebody came over here illegally because they trying to get a bag. You know, they trying to take advantage of the opportunities that the United States of America has. Other people had to go through a process and become legalized the right way. Some of the people done it the right way. Other people was finessing the system. All right, so now you came over here to get a bag. What is the due process for removing a person that just came over here illegally, snuck in through the border fence, didn't go through the process of asylum? How do we remove that person?
Well, the process, what they're doing now, basically. So basically, they're doing the ICE raids, which has happened during numerous presidents' tenure. You do the ICE raids. However, with Trump, he's a freaking how can I put this? He's a showman. He wants to show everybody that he's doing something and publicize it. Think about it. They nicknamed Obama the deporter in chief, and he did it quietly. It didn't cause all this ruckus, all this anarchy that's going on. Now this is unnecessary. Basically, you showing your hand. I think you mentioned it before. Oh, ICE lets these various cities know when they're coming in. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? It's a show. It's a show. It's unnecessary. Killers move in silence. Is that correct? I'm sure you heard that analogy before. Killers move in silence. So
I didn't know that there was a right or wrong way to get somebody that has been over here illegally inside of the United States of America.
Well, yes, sir, it is.
Because one of the reasons why he's broadcasting this is because he's sending a message to people that are still trying to come over here illegally and letting them know that you won't be treated nicely, you will be removed. And so he's publicly making an example out of people that are skirting the process and doing things illegally so that we don't have more bad actors and people are not incentivized to continue to come over here. Similarly to how they took advantage of how they seen people came over here during the Biden administration. People seeing other people was doing it and they said, okay, me too. I'm coming to get some money. I'm coming to get some food stamps. I'm coming to get some free housing. I'm going to do what I need to do to get over to the United States of America. So the same way that they publicized it during the Biden administration, and Trump has allowed for, because see, I don't believe that Trump is just doing it that way. I believe that Trump, when he first started doing it, and I don't know if you remember this, I covered it. When he first started deporting illegal migrants, he allowed for the media to come along to show that they were doing it the right way. They wasn't trying to come after people that's not illegal, all of that stuff. What happened was those same reporters and people started leaking information prior to them actually doing the ICE arrests and the ICE raids. And so they had to remove the media from being able to take pictures and document it and come along for the ride along. So I don't see anything wrong with the documentation, because what that does is it gives us visibility as content creators, you visibility as a United States of American citizen, to know what is really going on inside of the country. You don't agree with that?
No, I don't. Once
Okay.
again, it's a show, and it goes by timing. So let's
Mm-hmm.
put this on the plate. So this so-called, now I haven't spoke to you in probably over a year and a half. I don't know if you remember me.
Okay.
However, so just think about the time of this. 26 years, United States Army retired. Correct?
Okay.
That's me.
Okay.
So in that regard, what is this so-called Flag Day celebration that corresponds ironically with his birthday, and you have our troops with our taxpayers' dollars, even though he says that it's coming out of his pocket? That's a phallus. That's a phallus.
Mm-hmm.
He all this that's elevating now, especially in Atlanta, LA, soon to be Chicago, Minneapolis. How all of a sudden all this is erupting now on the heels of him bringing our military troops are supposed to be celebrating, the Army's
250
birthday.
years. 250
Yeah,
years.
come on, man. This is all the foulest, man. This guy is
So you haven't said anything that he did wrong that you disagree with. You don't.
what
Only
you mean?
thing you said. Only thing that you said is you don't like
I
this
just
show.
no. So I did. You must have missed. It's the due process portion.
You
So
never
so
explained what the due
let's
process is. You said it, I painted it with a broad brush. You
what
never
is due?
explained
Okay,
it.
so if Anton, if you go out and rob a liquor store,
Uh huh.
they arrest you,
Uh huh.
they put you in county jail. You
Facts.
go out on bond. You they release you on bond.
Facts.
Guess what?
If I get a
That's
bond.
called that's called due process. So
But here's the thing though.
in
Here's
lack
the
of better
thing though.
words,
Here's the thing though.
if SA,
I am
I'll listen to
afforded.
you. I listen
I
to you. I listen to you. I listen
okay.
to
Go
you.
ahead. I'm
So if
sorry. You're right.
SA comes over here, lack of better words, no
Mm.
disrespect, SA comes in with his family. They're working at hell, some type of plant. He gets arrested. Guess what? They round him up. ICE take him to whatever federal facility or institution, whatever. SA is allowed due process from an immigration judge. He or she would, in turn, will say, "Well, SA, guess what? Time to go. Pack your bags. You want to take your family with you? By all means, you guys got to go." That's called due process. This is what's happening. It's not
No,
currently what's
that's not
happening.
what happens. So let me better
Oh,
explain
yes,
it to
sir.
you.
That's exactly what's going on.
Okay, so first of all, you can't compare a United States of American citizens due
Oh,
process,
I knew you was going to say that. That was just an analogy, sir. That was just an analogy.
but it's a bad
So
analogy because it's not a one
it's
to
not a
one.
bad analogy because it's
I
still
thought you
a
said that I
criminal
let you
act.
talk, and so
So
now you
think
don't let
about
me
it. So
talk. Wait,
hold up.
wait. If
So
this is a
so
wait. If this is a conversation, and then I let you talk, and then you don't
bro,
want to let me talk, you stop me and
bro,
said, "Hey, let you finish."
it's like tennis. Sometimes a conversation could be like tennis, brother.
Okay, so we're gonna go based off of how you want to do it. Go ahead, get
You
it off.
go. This your platform. This your platform.
You wanted to get it off. Go ahead.
You said I wanted to get
So, all right. So I'll tell
finish
you
what you're
what.
saying,
You
man.
stop me.
Finish.
You stop me when you feel like you need to stop me. Okay? Because I'm letting you rock out. You can't
Yes, sir.
compare it. It's not a one for one. You can't compare the rights of an American citizen because I deserve and I am afforded due process because I am an American citizen. And it's the same thing for a legal migrant that has come over here to the United States of America. Due process is afforded to people that are doing things or were initially doing things the right way. If you have overstayed your visa, usually there is a request for you to come and visit an immigration site or to contact an immigration judge, right? If you are a person that is a green card holder, doesn't necessarily mean that you're an American citizen, and so there are rules for you to abide by. You cannot break those rules, otherwise that green card can be revoked and you can be sent back to your country. There is a process that's associated with that. For people that walk over into the United States of America and just start working, there is no due process. As a matter of fact, I just looked it up, and there is an expedited process for you to officially be sent back to the country that you came from, and you don't have to be afforded any due process whatsoever. So that is false.
So
They don't get due
what
process.
site did
They
you?
don't get due process in the same way that we do, especially for the ones that have committed crimes inside of the United States of America.
So where you derived your information from? Please, it's in the educational website. Please, so I can get smarter on that subject.
The Vera Institute, EMP Law Firm, and the International Rescue Commission, all summarized. And then there's more sources, and it was all summarized. It specifically highlights the notice to appear, immigration court hearings, right to counsel, right to challenge evidence, and expedited removal, which also includes asylum seekers. And then it goes into more important
Okay,
considerations, including due process varies, legal representation, and ongoing legal challenges. I think that all of those
okay.
sites
So
are sufficient.
okay, so just now just think about what you just said. So you took out one block of that and you lumped it into to everything.
Mm.
So with that said, those individuals. So answer this question. I think this is going to make better sense. Um, how does ICE know what individuals to target?
Usually they get tips from
Where
other
does I,
people. So one of the things that I was going to cover in
so
the
you
next
hold
section of
up,
the
hold up,
show.
hold up.
Hold on, give me a
So
second.
so you telling me
Usually,
so you
usually
telling me
it's a bevy of
ICE
different
knows this?
ways. Give me a second. Give me a second. You asked the question, let me
Okay,
answer it. Usually they get a bevy of different information from different people. So one of the ways in
okay,
which they get it is a tip line, right? So they have to verify it. The second way that they get information is a lot of these same migrants, these illegal migrants, have already been arrested and they're verified as a system as undocumented. So that's why Tom
right.
Homan and Trump first said that the first people that we're going to go after are people that are committing crimes in the United States of America because they're the easiest to target, and we already know that they're undocumented and they're illegal inside of the United States of America.
But that didn't happen.
It did happen.
No, it did not.
It
No, he
absolutely
did
did.
not.
The people that were
They
just
basically,
arrested in Los
ba-
Angeles, they were child
brother.
molesters. There were people that committed crimes. There were people that absolutely positively, and as a matter of fact, I think you should really spend more time focusing on Democrats' inability or their unwillingness to work with the Trump administration or ICE, because what Brandon Johnson, with J.B. Pritzker, with Gavin Newsom, with Karen Bass, with Kathy Hochul, with all of these Democrat mayors and governors, what they basically said is that they're unwilling to work with ICE on if people get arrested, illegal migrants get arrested for committing crimes. They're unwilling to work with ICE as far as calling them to make sure that they get these criminals outside of the United States of America. So we're spending time on the wrong thing. You spending time trying to figure out whether or not they're doing it the right way. I'm trying to understand whether or not they should be here in the first place, because we spending our tax dollars, our healthcare coverage, our police, because it's more than just, hey, how much are we giving them? There's resources, there's school resources, there's classrooms, there's police services,
Right.
there's social services, all of these things that we can't even quantify that is going over to illegal migrants, not to mention healthcare, hospital stays, kids that they haven't, all these things that's taking resources from American taxpayers. So instead of you holding your legislators accountable in these Democrat cities and these sanctuary cities and saying, why are you not calling ICE and making sure that these people that are doing things against us is getting deported? They've already pledged not to. Why would they do that? You so
Okay.
busy mad at Trump for actually doing the thing that we voted for him to do, instead of You care more about the optics of it instead of caring about whether or not they should be here legally in the first place. You a black man.
Okay,
Why do
okay,
you
okay.
hold on.
So
Let me ask
let
you
me
now. No. Let me
so
ask you a
let
question.
me let,
Let
let,
me ask you a
let me
question.
respond
Let
before
me
you
ask
go
you
on.
a question.
Let me
Let me ask you a
respond to what you
question.
just said.
Let me ask you a
Let me
question.
respond to what you just
You can
said.
respond
Let
to
me
it, but
res-
let me throw another question there for
okay,
you because I really want to know this.
okay. So
You as a
I
black
know I got a
man,
Rolodex in my head, but
as a black man, as a
mhm.
person that works, that served this country, that paid your taxes,
Yep.
I'm not sure if you got kids or not, whatever. Why do you care about people that don't even care about you, that's in this country illegally sending money back to their people in their own country?
You hit it right on the head, my brother, because I am a black man and I've seen so many black men especially not get the proper due process or are basically overcharged or over sentenced for bull crap
So
crimes.
why you not
Here's,
focused
here's
on
the
that?
here's the here's the reason
Why you
because
not
you
focused
painted
on
with a
that? Why
broad
you
brush, but
focused on
that's
illegal
why.
migrants?
That's why.
They
So
not we not
any
the same.
unjust
We not the no.
what
Black people that is legally in this country, especially when it comes to birthright citizenship, people that are African descendants of slaves, we not the same as people that came over here illegally. Why
I
are you
didn't say
focus
that.
any
Now you
energy
misquoting me.
on what
Now
they got going on
hold up,
instead
hold
of
up,
being
hold up, hold
focused
up,
on
hold up, stop,
police
brother.
reform,
Hey, you won't do
jail
that. You won't.
reform,
Hey,
sentencing, the
Antoine. Hey,
Innocence Project? Why
AD,
don't you care about
AD,
that?
AD. You won't do that, brother. I did not make a comparison by no means. However, I did say as a black man and have seen uh plenty of black men, especially not get due process. You have to feel how it feels, and for you to call yourself a Christian, which is absolutely insane to even think that a human being, which they are. Now, trust me, I understand the criminal aspect of it. Hell no, especially in regards to molesting kids. Hell, I think I'm a person, and you can call me what you want. I think you deserve the damn death penalty if you put your hands on a kid. That's just my. However, that's how I feel in regards to that. So once again, I'm going to spin off back to a topic that you brought up
Mm-hmm.
as far as the sanctuary cities are concerned. So you have this bullcrap governor in Florida, in Texas, in Louisiana that exacerbated this issue. Because guess what? When those folks came in across the borders, especially in Texas and Arizona, instead of shipping these folks into the interior of our country, what makes it more difficult and more cost effective, I mean, more costly to get these folks out of here instead of leaving them down there in Texas, Arizona, that exacerbated this problem to get where we're at today.
I think
They
you
would
got
have
your
never been in
information
the
wrong.
interior.
You got your
Say it
information
again.
wrong. You have your information
Oh
wrong.
my goodness. So
Texas
you
was
tell me,
literally
so
sued
you
by the
tell me
Biden
Abbott,
administration.
you
Hold
tell
on. Let me educate you
hold
because you
up.
may not be familiar with this.
Brother.
Texas was
Damn. Okay.
Texas was
Go.
sued. Texas was sued by the Biden administration to leave their borders
Oh
open.
Lord.
There was literally okay.
Yes. Okay, but I didn't say that. I didn't
But what I'm
say
saying is
that.
that they
I
couldn't
did
do
not
what you're
say.
saying that they should do
Speaking about a
because
whole
they had
different.
handcuffs
You
on
speaking about
them.
a whole different topic.
Okay, I'm speaking
You
about a
speaking
different.
about
Go
a.
ahead. I'm gonna let you finish your thought. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So once again, if wouldn't have shipped those folks into the interior of America, we wouldn't. This they basically exacerbated this issue to the fullest, plain and simple. And so
So
who says God
Texas,
said follow the laws of the land?
that is literally
Yeah,
God said
what in
follow the
that
laws of the
have to
land.
do
So
with treating
for
somebody
people to
as a
throw
what in
for
the hell does that have to do with treating somebody as a human being?
because
Really?
you specifically
God,
said because
God said
I'm a
get some
Christian.
education before God said get some education before you speak. That's
That's
what
not what he
God said.
said. God said get
I'm
understanding.
just I'm just
What
joking.
God
I'm just
said,
joking, brother.
he didn't say
I'm
get
just
education. He
joking.
said
I'm just joking.
get understanding in everything that you do. And he did
I'm
say
just
follow
joking.
the rules and the laws
Just
of the
joking.
land. The rules and
I'm
the
just
laws of the
joking. Yes.
land is that you should not be over here illegally, and we can't do this in any other place in the world. But for some reason, they're supposed to pull on our heartstrings, and we're supposed to allow for lawlessness inside of the United States of America. So people can
Man,
come in when they want
this is
to.
what
They
made this
can do
country
what they
great,
want
brother.
to. No, it's no. You
No,
keep
this is what
on
made this
conflating
immigrants is what
arguments.
made this country great. Immigrants is
You
what made
keep
this
on
country great.
conflating arguments. The fact of the matter is this: you're not making a
I'm
strong
not conflating
argument.
anything.
You're not
Am I
making a
wrong?
strong
Am I right or
argument.
wrong?
You're
Am I
wrong.
right or wrong?
You're wrong.
Am I
You're
right or
10
wrong?
times.
Immigrants is what
You're
made this
wrong.
country great.
You're wrong. What you're
I'm
trying to
wrong.
do is you're conflating
I,
arguments, and you keep
every
on trying to justify. Are you gonna let me finish the sentence?
95% of the individuals
Okay,
that
I'm
you're
gonna
going to
let you
run
rock.
into is an immigrant to this country. 95% are their ancestors or immigrant to this country. Hence the reason why I say immigrants made this country great. Now, once again, we can get back on. No one is basically saying that it should be illegals here.
I'm sorry, you breaking up? Say it again.
Yeah, I got a phone call.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. What was
Never
you
mind.
saying?
So once again, 95% of the individuals that you're going to run into are to this country. Immigrants made this country great, plain and simple.
Are you an
Now,
immigrant?
so let me finish.
No,
So
I'm not gonna keep letting you
another
finish.
one
And
of
you
my chief.
hold on, wait. You keep on telling me to
Hold
let
up,
you
brother. You
finish.
you get
I
you get
have
on the
not.
rampage and you speak for 30
I
30
have not
minutes.
finished a
So my
sentence. I have not finished
my
a
issue
sentence since we got on got on this
my
call.
chief so my chiefly
You
issue is this. My chiefly issue. Let me finish. Let me finish rocking, and then I'm going to let you go.
you gonna let me go? Okay, I
My
got you.
chiefly issue is this. Issue is this. So you have all these immigrants that's coming in, and this is what they are: legal aliens coming in from Canada. You just brought some in from South Africa, which is absolutely insane. Uh, those folks are not getting rounded up. So while you rounding brown folks instead of the other folks,
All
I'm done.
right, all right.
So
So
answer that question, sir.
okay, first of all, everybody is being rounded up. I just did a report on Asians that are being rounded up, that on Haitians that are being rounded up. And the first thing that we have to say is I hate it when people continue to conflate arguments because they want to make this black and brown thing. There is no black and brown thing.
Oh Lord.
People,
Okay.
you don't want to let me finish?
I'm, I'm just
You know
I'm
what
just
I've
curious because
learned. You know what
why
I've
you keep
learned.
going to
You know
the?
what I've
It's not a
learned.
racial thing.
You,
It's not a
you
racial
just
thing.
you just asked me a racial question.
I did not ask you a racial question. I asked you simply, why are they rounding up all the brown folks and not sending the Canadians specifically? Why they're not rounding them up?
So
And then
that's
you
not a
retorted with,
race-based question.
and then your retort was they're rounding up Asian folks and they're rounding up uh
I didn't get a chance
Haitians,
to finish my
which
sentence
is what
again.
color? Which is brown
I
and
didn't get
black
a
folks.
chance.
So what are you talking about, brother?
I didn't get a chance to
Come
finish
on.
my.
Oh
Listen,
my God. Okay, go, man.
listen. You gotta lower your voice and strengthen your argument. Just because you talk loud,
Oh Lord.
just because you over talk, and I'm not gonna censor you, that does not make your argument stronger. The fact of the matter is this: when we get
No,
back down
the
to it,
context makes it stronger. The context makes it stronger.
the fact of the matter is this: when it comes back down to it, first, from a personal perspective, I don't know why you're so adamant about defending people that is taking resources away from you, your community, where you live at, and American taxpayers. This ain't even your fight. This ain't got nothing to do with you. And as a matter of fact, this is not something that we should be divided upon when it comes to how it is that we feel about politics, whether you Democrat, Republican, whatsoever. This ain't got nothing to do with you at all. This don't benefit you. Them being here don't help you. You get nothing from this. That's the first thing. The second thing
Hey,
is
brother, I know
God
you do a
says,
lot of coaching calls, but you can't tell a grown man how to speak, how to think. Okay, continue.
if you want a rebuttal, right, just let me finish. I promise you, I am going to give you the space to be able to say whatever you want to say. All right. But you got to let me finish a thought.
Okay.
Got to let me finish a thought. The second thing is,
If you had a thought, I'll let you finish. If you had a thought, I'll let you finish it, brother. But continue on. Or if you had a conducing thought, I will let you finish it. But continue on.
if I had a what thought?
A conducing, a logical, because you can't
condu-
tell an individual what type of fight they're going to
conducive,
fight. So that's not a logical. So that's not a conducive
Mm.
thought. It's not at all. Let's go.
All right, you know what? You're right. I give up. You're right. I concede. I concede. You're right.
Thank you.
So
I know.
what do you think we should do now going forward? You
In
won.
regards to
You
what?
won. You won. And I think that you're 100% right. So now, what should we do? What should we allow to happen? How should Trump go about approaching this situation going forward?
Well, I think he still should continue on in regards to what he's doing. However, it shouldn't be so publicized, and he should give these folks due process. That's what I said initially. I said initially he's making a spectacle out of something. Remember when I initially said Obama was. Do you recall all this conversation, or I was just blowing hot air?
Go ahead. You can answer the question. I'm not interrupting you.
Was I blowing hot air, or is that what I not said?
You don't
Is
need
that
my
what I didn't
validation.
say?
You don't need my validation. You said don't give my opinion about you. I'm asking you. How do you think that we should go about continuing to do this? And so I just want you to complete your thought.
Okay. So once again, for the people in the back, I
Mhm,
said he should continue. However, don't make it so public and allow these folks to get due process.
mhm. And what does due process look like for illegal migrants? That's not. Um,
I explained that.
I
I
know, but
explained that already.
I'm slow.
I'm
I'm
not going to
slow.
spend my.
Give me a little bit of
You spinning.
grace.
You spinning.
Give me a
You
little bit of
spinning my
grace.
wheels. I've already
Give
said
me
it.
a little bit of
I'm
grace.
not going to go back and repeat. You're
So
spinning my
no.
wheels.
For illegal undocumented migrants that just walked across the border, didn't seek asylum, never filed for paperwork, and they are out here. Some of them criminals, some of them not criminals. What exactly does due process look like? What do once Trump arrests them, once ICE arrests them, and they take them to a detention facility, and they do it quietly, right? And they not making a big spectacle about it. Then what happens?
So once again, okay, for you. So they're taken to the facility.
Mm-hmm.
They go in front of an immigration judge, and
Mm-hmm.
he or she determines what happens next. That's what should happen. I
Okay.
said that. That's called due process. It can be expedited, or it can be elongated. However you want to do it. However, that's what should happen.
Okay. Anything else that you want to add into the conversation?
I think I've made a. I just once again, you haven't touched on the basis in regards to why black and folks are basically getting rounded up,
Mm.
and none from North America.
I conceded.
Say it again.
I conceded.
You just quit? You're not a quitter, brother.
I didn't quit. I said I conceded. You
Give,
educated me, and so now
that's,
I agree with you.
yeah.
Well, do
give
you
me some
want me? Do you
edification.
want? Do you? No. Hold on. Wait a minute. Do you
Give
want me
me
to?
some
You
edification in regards to that.
you want me to disagree with you just for the sake of disagreeing with you?
No, sir. I don't want you to disagree with me, but I know you're being
So I agree
sarcastic,
with it.
is what I'm
I'm
saying.
not being
And
sarcastic. I concede. I concede.
okay. All right.
So, I listen. I appreciate you for coming on the show. You have been very respectful. I think that I value you as a watcher of the platform, and I think that you're awesome. And so I enjoyed the conversation.
Likewise.
All right, my friend. Have a good one.